chance of speaking while people are hungry or while waiting for them to come back. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me, Abhinav and friends, Excellency, to my two colleagues. In fact, I've been listening with very interest since yesterday, and I didn't expect the level of discussions to be so high. So I want to compliment all of you because the amount of information I have got have made me change my mind of what I should be able to get to be interested to you, because I'm moving from the multilateral to bilateral, which I definitely will also reduce to make it more interesting. I believe I have like 10 minutes. Put the timer, it's easy for me. I have also a discussion with Pascal this morning after her speech, which I found very inspiring. Then I discovered that probably I need to give few facts about my country. I will just brief on. It's one of the oldest nation states of the world. Some people call it the oldest nation state in modern world. Back to the 8th century, it was founded. Then it has the oldest university in the world, where at the moment of the Dark Ages was to be the Enlightenment sources. It's the Cairo University, which is still functioning right now. And it delivered the oldest medicine and then veterinary degree. It's also the nation which has a very old diplomatic tradition, having its resident ambassadors in the 16th century, which helped into finding peace between France and England, and then sometimes helping one to get married with the ladies from the others, or the other way around, just to find peace. So we counted, we were an empire, but since history also solves many problems, but also gives an answer to many of the problems, we do share very interestingly some good things about India, that is the culture, the heritage. And I have always told people that among the Arab world, the closest country to India in terms of food, fashion, and culture is Morocco. In fact, we are two nations. If we decide one day to close our doors, we can live by our own completely, from down to up, which is not, it's a blessing by itself. Morocco-India relations, I can divide them into 4 distinct phases. The first one starts from the 10th to 11th centuries until modern times. We know a little bit about that, but we know much more about Ibn Battuta's writings, which show that we had quite a long and then traditions. The first also spices roads are from Marrakesh to Kerala, proved. And those who came here in this part of the region, because we were very big travelers, also very big maritime nation, it helped us into getting this closeness. The second phase, of course, is after the independence, where India helped in its way the African countries and then Asian countries for their independence. Morocco was also heading the Casablanca group. Then there was the Monrovia group. But collectively, we managed with the non-alignment movements. It went until 1985, where India recognized what they called the Sahrawi Republic. So we broke the relation at the time, and it was done for a misunderstanding. And here I hope I open a very small brackets. In 1999, that's the year where His Majesty late Hassan II died as well. Late Prime Minister Vajpayee was coming from New York, and then they requested for a stop, technical stop in Morocco, Morocco for fueling and for technical stop. Then His Majesty proposed to him to come and then make it like invite him and for discussions. So Vajpayee requested the people around him and told them what are the issues which probably, I heard that this king is very clever and then he is one of the best politicians in the world, so what may he bring to discussions? So definitely one of the discussions which would come, the Sahara issue, which we had. Then we were discussing, everything was brought up except the Sahara issue. The king didn't mention it at all. Then late Vajpayee, when he went out, he said there are two things. Either this king is so foolish to miss the opportunity of telling me, or he is so clever he didn't think of mentioning it to me. He wants to move forward. So there was a discussion internally, and if only it was done without very properly ripened ideas. Then they withdrew. From there, we have two phases. From that time, they have two official visits from the kingdom, from His Majesty, 2001, where he decided to help India and to ensure India to reach its full security. So that's where the strategic part Morocco comes from India. So at that time it was not based at all on a commercial basis, but it was the political decision mature that India would, the face of India as being fully capable of ensuring its full security is not India which is not capable of ensuring full security. So we saw the grandeur of India at the time. Then things were moving mostly but slowly, probably the backbone was the phosphates and fertilizers from our side, and from few of the equipments from India moving forward. Until Morocco decided in its foreign policy to diversify the partners. We discovered in the early 2000s that this is a world where we need to have many friends in many baskets instead of relying only on the old ones who are comfortably getting benefits without getting or giving back a few things. That's also one of the things we are facing these days because Morocco is an independent foreign policy. And then in fact, your ambassador, Patnaik, when I was additional secretary in Morocco for Asia, he is now in Spain. He's a wonderful guy. In a lapse of 2 months, 3 big events happened which he couldn't understand, and he was a good friend. The first one, we refused to hold the Arab Summit, because we said there is not any content, there is strong things where we can discuss, and then we just cannot get again and then have good food and then say goodbye. We need to have a very strict agenda. The second thing, we stopped our cooperation with France 2 weeks later, completely what we call the judiciary exchange. And it was very huge decision, and then people were a little bit asking what's happening. Then the third one, which was not in the list, there was what we call yearly the African Lion maneuvers military exercise in Morocco, which is the largest between Morocco and the US with other countries in Africa. And I think the Americans, there was the Security Council, there has pen of the resolution, something which was not in our interests. And then one day before these military exercises, we asked